Okay, so we're going to do a pod review on this today, and I have done pod reviews on this in the past, and this is called the TS by Morango. It's a Trinidad Scorpion crossed with a Pimenta Morango. So it is a cross, but I didn't create this cross. This is a Mojo pepper. Unfortunately, Mojo's not around anymore, at least for the time being, and he might come back with more pods in the future, but unfortunately he's not. And this is just some of the remnants of what is left of his fantastic work that he created. So you can see a lot of these pods do look like the Pimenta Morango. They do have that pimenta look to them. They're very purple in color, and they're just a gorgeous pod. If you let them grow out in full sun, you'll get these pods to really produce well, and they'll grow to full size. I've grown this in the past, and I grew it in, very crowded conditions, and it doesn't grow as good as if you grow it outside in the ground in direct sunlight, and you'll get a bunch of full-size, regular-shaped pods, and they'll be very productive for you, this plant. So here's some more of the pods. You can see what they look like. These are the unripened ones, of course. Just a beautiful looking pod. It's got a nice color to it. Here's a ripe one. We're going to pick this one right now. Man, it doesn't want to let that go. The interesting thing about these pods is if you look at the color on them, they're not just like a red. They get like this maroon color to it. It's sort of like that purple tinge stays on top of a deep red or orange. In this case, it's still kind of orange. But there are some back here, which I don't think I can actually get to them. I'll try to reach back there. It's a real pain in the neck to get through these cages sometimes. Let me see if I can pick a nice red one. They get this deep red color. It's, I think I broke it off the stem. You can see, here's a nice ripe one. They get this nice, let me back you out. They get this nice deep red maroon color to it. It's just very gorgeous looking pepper. It really is. It's a very, very beautiful looking pepper. Glad I got seeds from him before he closed his doors. And the thing with him was, like, he'll offer this one year, and then the next year you won't see them again. So sometimes he'll offer these peppers for like maybe 1 or 2 years, and then once they're sold out, he doesn't replenish them. There's very few peppers that he kept growing year in and year out, and year in and year out. Like the pink tigers, and I think he was growing the Kathumbi black. Even that he stopped selling for towards the end before he closed his doors. So this is one of the peppers he just never pursued again. And glad I got it, and I got it in stock, and I keep the seed for it, and I do treasure his creations, because his creations were very, very unique visually. He gave a lot of visuality to his peppers when he grew them. So as you can see, some of the unripened ones are quite beautiful before they actually turn ripen. They're nice ripened, but they're even more beautiful as they're unripened. So let's go inside, turn you around, and give you a go. All right, guys, here we are. We got another pod review to do today. And the pod today we're going to review is the TS by Morango. That is a Trinidad Scorpion by a Pimenta Morango. I believe that's what they were crossed as. That was the original cross. So here it is. Sorry if I seem a little out of breath. I'm running around like crazy today. I'm trying to do pod reviews in between running around, and I'm just like, it's the end of the year, so I really got to like get a lot of things ready to do before the end of the year. So that's what it looks like. TS by Morango by Mojo Peppers. I feel sad that he's gone now, because I really liked his creations. He had some really good creations, and he's no longer around with that. I'm not sure what's going on with him or his website or whatever, but anyway, so here it is. And without any further ado, let's give it a go. You're very fruity, like a like a habanero. It's not really that hot, to be honest with you. It's pretty easy, but it could be a creeper heat. So in other words, I just chewed it. No, not really much heat in the mouth at all. Swallowed it, but now I'm starting to feel things warm up. This is one of those peppers, you don't know how hot it is until sometimes a minute later. It could be one of those. It is crossed with a Trinidad Scorpion, so some years are hotter than others, but I'm not sure if this is going to be one of those super hot years, but it's picking up now. It's burning underneath my tongue. It's burning the back 2 tonsils a little bit. It's burning, it's burning the whole end of my tongue right now. Oh, I didn't realize it was going to be this hot. I probably would have spit it out, to be honest with you. But it's warm down the esophagus. That thing's got some heat on it right now. It's picking up pretty steadily and strong. It's a creeper heat. It's what I would refer to as a late creeper heat. In other words, it's not a creeper heat that kind of creeps in like 30 seconds later. This takes like a minute. This takes a while. You're not going to know it. You're going to be eating and chewing this thing. You're like, man, this is sweet pepper. Ain't no heat on this. It comes in like a minute later, man. The main thing about this pepper right now that I'm going to tell you, the odd thing about it is the hole underneath of my tongue, under the tongue. I don't know how the juices are getting underneath it. Just because maybe it's soft. It's like soft like a habanero, so it really got juicy and went around. It's not really burning the top that much. But underneath the tongue, it's really burning good, man. Uncomfortably burning the under part of the tongue. Whew. It is burning the top of the tongue a little bit like that. Around the tip more. It's more intense around the tip. Little bits on the side, but underneath the tongue, the whole underneath of the tongue is just... Maybe the juice just stuck under there or something too long. I don't know. That's strange. It's burning the back of the throat a little bit, which is nice. A nice little back of the throat burn. It feels... that back of the throat burn, when you get like a sore throat, that feels really good. Those are the peppers I like to eat when I got a sore throat. I just start eating them things raw. It really scratches that itch in the back of the throat. It really gets, you know, the fluids moving out of there, and just gets the blood flowing through that area, and really helps with the sore throat a lot. Feels good, but it's not that hot. I'm not going to put this thing over maybe 15,000 on the Scoville, maybe 20,000 at best. It's really not that hot. I guess maybe it depends on the year. I've had years before. I remember this being a little warmer than that, but this isn't that warm. This isn't that hot. 20,000 maybe. Yeah, I'm sure it can go a little higher than that, so you might grow it and you might get a real hot one. It's really hard to say. When I bought these peppers off Mojo, back in those days, I think I picked these up as an F3 or something like that. So what I got might be by now an F6 or an F7. The pheno is pretty consistent. It's not changing pheno or nothing. But it might still be slightly stabilizing. And so there may be some variations into it. But I still offer it as a Mojo pepper. And, you know, in memory of his name. So if you want to pick them up, you can still get them there. But again, heat-wise, it's not incredibly hot. I'm sure if I go up to the top of the seeds, we're going to pick up some heat on that, because the top of it's really where the heat is. And I'll take a bite for you guys just to see if we can really fire it up. Oh, I love the taste of this thing. Man, it's such a nice fruity flavor. It's a very nice habanero-y type fruity flavor, but like almost like candy type of a fruity, not like the typical habanero flavor that you and I are probably used to. The regular red, pink, you know, or peach habaneros. This is very smooth and very soft and easy to eat. It's very pleasant to the palate. It doesn't give me that spicy effect. And when I say spicy for you new guys, I'm talking about like that flavor hanging around in your mouth hours after you eat it, and you can start belching it up hours later. Not that kind of spiciness. I'm not picking that up from this. It's very easy on you, and it's just a nice pepper. That's a very beautiful creation that he created. I really like this pepper a lot. I'm probably going to grow this thing for the rest of my life because it's such a nice pepper. You can see how bright orange it gets on the inside, and then how it's got like smoky tones over the red on the outside. Very interesting contrast in peppers. I don't know what would make somebody want to cross a Pimenta Morango with a Trinidad Scorpion. It's just an oddball mix. I mean, but what it came out of it is just, you don't know sometimes. That's why you got to fool around with your crosses. You don't know what's going to come out of them. You think you might, something's going to come out that you expect. And a lot of times something like this will pop out and it's like, wow. It might not be what you expect, but it's cool in its own right. So anyway, that is it for the pod review on the TS by Morango Mojo Pepper. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next one. Take care.